Hello guys, what's up, what's up? This is Sudoku Warrior here with another episode of Simple Souls. So last time I kinda said that was about the first third of Anor Londo. Well, it was kind of a lie, because the inside of Gwyn's castle, while it is pretty long, can be fairly easily skipped, which is what we will be doing in this leg of the walkthrough. So where we left off, we were about to go talk to Solaire, and we found out that he actually believes that we are interested in him, which is really cute. Alright, so from the bonfire, head straight out the door across the hallway. There is a, Silver Knight wielding a spear in here, but I really don't suggest going and fighting anything more than you have to in here, because the boss of the area, Ornstein and Smoth, is brutal, to say the least. Definitely the hardest boss on new game, on just the first new game, in the game. So anyways, these knights, fighting them inside and not outside on a ledge is actually pretty easy. They telegraph their moves pretty well. You can do the same old back off and then stab them and then back off again type thing that you've been doing for most of the enemies in the game. And down here is some armor that will free us up a ring slot, sort of. It's the set of Havel the Rock, who in one of the first like 2 or 3 videos we killed to get a ring that increased our equipment load capacity. Yep, well, his stash of stuff is down here, accompanied by, of course, a mimic. These 2 chests right here contain his weapon, the Dragon Tooth, and his shield. That shield actually, if you have the 50 strength to wield it, gives you a buff that when you, instead of being able to shield bash or do anything but block with the shield, it gives you a buff that allows you to make all enemy attacks bounce off you as though you had infinite deflection, which is a weird little mechanic. Alright, so the reason for changing our armor is to show that you can achieve 76 poise and still be not fat rolling on one guy with the lightweight, fairly lightweight pieces of armor that come with Havel's set. His gauntlets and his leggings together add up to 55 poise. As you can see, we can't wear a hat without running around like we're fat, so we'll be staying with this for now. That door right there is a shortcut, which I'm about to show you how to open quickly. Usually you have to progress through the entirety of the castle and fight, like, I think it's 12 Silver Knights, and they come with either swords or spears, but you can indeed jump down to this little section that you can see ahead of me from where we are on the stairs. You need to take off everything that you need to in order to get under 25% equipment load, and then watch me fail to demonstrate this jump. Alright, what you do is you run down the stairs and do a sprinting jump, aiming to jump over the railing that separates that lower area there from you. I believe I get it right here. Yep, that little drop. If you head to the room on your right, you can open that doorway that we just saw down below. So anyways, yeah, in here there's only one enemy that you actually have to fight. No, it's not the Silver Knight you just saw. It's the one that comes charging up the stairs to fight you. These guys are very difficult to fight because their shields have high deflection and stability, so your claymore just by itself will kind of bounce off of them. These guys are really good to practice parrying on, because the spear ones have a sort of different attacks. That little spinning thing that he keeps doing with the spear can be done at like 2 or 3 different speeds, I believe, so learning to parry them all is very useful. That guy actually, in the 2 crates behind that guy, is actually the Silver Knight armor if you want to go get it, but you have to fight him for it. No big deal. So anyways, you can head back out to this bonfire right over here where Solaire is, and rest up and head back out again. The This build is centered around the weapon, the Lightning Claymore. Lightning is an upgrade path, which I can't believe I haven't covered this yet, but an upgrade path which you can improve a weapon on. It adds a large amount of electrical damage, and yeah, it removes stat scaling as well, which is why we kept our stats to the minimum required to wield the Claymore, even though you can get a little bit of extra damage through scaling, because that goes away once you've converted it to an elemental weapon. If that all still is pretty confusing, don't worry about it. It's all about doing more damage and being more efficient and having more health and endurance. And if you're really curious about that, you can go to either of the wikis, the Dark Souls wiki or the Dark Souls wiki, which I kind of like a little bit more. But yeah, they both give good information. So anyways, once you've opened up the shortcut, head through that gigantic throne room, but don't go on the ground floor of it, or else you'll have to fight some more of those giant guardian sentinel things. This is my favorite blacksmith in the game, because it is here that you can ascend your weapons to lightning. Anyways, what we've been collecting Titanite chunks for this entire game, which you can't actually buy, is to improve our weapon. And as you can see, we got it up to +3 there. Immediately outside of here, there's actually another Titanite chunk. You can hear the little crackling electricity from the hits and stuff. That never goes away for the rest of the game, so get used to it. The Batwing demons, as ever, are just entirely pushovers. Not difficult to fight at all, as long as you keep running after them. That's the only annoying part. As you can see, instead of having to take 3 or 4 hits to kill them like before, it's only 2. And this weapon is not all the way upgraded yet. To entirely upgrade a weapon to Lightning +5, which is the maximum that you can upgrade lightning weapons to, you need 1 Titanite slab and 9 Titanite chunks. So here we're going to aggro 2 of them, but that doesn't really matter because we just roasted one of them. Yep, these guys are easy to kill, and this is the Titanite chunk. Alright. Heal up here, and then if you're feeling comfortable with the number of Estus flasks, which I never feel comfortable with my amount of healing items that I have fighting Ornstein and Smough, or Smo, however you want to say it. I like Smough better. The boss ahead, like I said before, it's a dual boss, so you have to fight 2 of them at once. One of them's the famously fast spearman, and the other one has a giant hammer that he likes to crush you with. Together, they are really difficult to fight because you are having to watch for so many different attacks. That guy with the bow there, if you always engage him after you're coming out of where the blacksmith is, he won't shoot arrows at you when you come into this little area, and will instead draw his sword, and you can fight him like a normal silver knight. Makes him a lot easier to kill. That summon sign up ahead is Knight Solaire, who is extremely useful, but you're going to want to save some of his HP for the boss fight, so don't summon him now when you kill these 2 guys. You can continually bait them onto the staircase and sort of watch them chase you up, and then do a plunging attack onto them. Just like that. Sometimes you'll be able to hit them twice with the plunging attack. It'll just like have one time where it contacts them when it first enters their hitbox, and one time where a hit goes off when you actually impact the floor by their feet. But I have not a clue what determines whether you get actually 2 hits out of it or just 1. But sometimes you can get lucky and kill them really easily. Anyways, this is another great place to summon Knight Solaire. He's one of the few summons that are actually really good in this game. And yeah, here you'll want to get rid of that covetous gold serpent ring, and you'll want to put on Havel's ring, so that way we can wear Havel's armor. I believe you can wear Havel's helmet with the kind of endurance we have with all of this, but I'd still rather wear the goggle and helm, just because it looks cooler. Alright, there's a bit of really professional editing coming up right here, because I went in here to try to learn a couple strategies and got roasted hardcore. So anyways, when you enter, the first thing you'll want to do is watch for the spearman to come towards you and then dodge his imminent attack. The spearman Ornstein is actually really easy to stagger. He staggers in 2 hits to this claymore. Though he is a little bit more resistant to lightning than his bro Smoff over there, he is, like I said, easy to stagger. Dodging is very important in this battle, but at this point, at the point which I recorded this, I don't think I had realized that you're not supposed to dodge directly into attacks. That was actually just a really awfully told joke about how horrendous I was at dodging back then. Anyways, you can stunlock him with your two-handed claymore. Shields aren't really going to be doing you much anyway. You'll be getting thrown all over the place and knocked down. That was a wonderful, wonderful jump. You'll want to not be sprinting a whole lot in this battle, because every now and then there will be occasions when you just need to be able to quickly dodge attacks. So while it may be painfully slow walking around in here, it's your best option to avoid dying. Anyways, so yay, we've killed one of them, and we get a cutscene. This part is pretty wonderful. Smoff shows his brotherly love for his best friend. Alright, so now we get to focus on fighting Smoff, which is, depending on which one you kill first, you have to fight an upgraded version of the next. I fight Super Smoff because all that he gets is additional lightning damage to his attacks. He's exactly the same to fight as he was before, except he has a giant electric butt slam, which is actually probably the best attack in the game. Anyways, Smoff doesn't stagger as easily as Ornstein does, so you'll be wanting to get in your hit and then dodge out away from his attacks. That's the electric butt slam. If you see that thing going up in the air, you have 2 options. Either turn around, unlock from Smoff, and sprint away as fast as you can, or try to stay locked onto him midair and time your dodge so that way the invincibility frames that you have during a dodge coincide with when the damage actually hits you, which is not the same as when the electric shockwave hits you. His charging attack is pretty annoying. All of his moves leave you with a lot of room while he kind of picks up that hammer again to heal and stuff, so he's not awfully hard to recover from, like, messing up with Smoff, getting hit by him. So yeah, just continue the same strategy of wait till he hits and then punish him with 1 or 2 swings. I hate that move so much. On higher new games, it will one-shot you, but if you're playing a higher new game, you're probably not watching this walkthrough. So anyways, there you can see I do the wonderfully newbie thing and just chug all the Estus I can. So, this fight deteriorated from what I thought would be a pretty easy walkthrough of a hard battle to me desperately trying to survive. And you guys get to watch. So, that's an example of using the dodge invincibility frames to avoid getting hit. I might have also rolled out of range, but yeah. 2 rolls backwards if you're standing pretty close to Smoff will usually get you out of harm's way, but if you're too close for those 2 rolls to get you out, then you're probably going to get hit even if you turn around and sprint away. Eventually you'll get to the point where as soon as you see him starting to power up for that attack, you just kind of start instinctively backing away. Yep. He loves that charge attack. It has such a weird dodge window. It's one of those things that you just have to be really patient for. Oh yeah, all of his attacks hitboxes are just so wonky. Sometimes he'll nail you when you're behind him, and other times his hammer will swing directly over your head, like you saw a second ago. Okay, so the pillars, if you're really having a ton of trouble against this guy, the pillars are your friend. He gets stuck behind them a lot because of how big he is, and therefore how wide the path he tries to take to get to you is. Anyways, this is where it turns into a desperate fight for survival. It's a good idea in one of these really heavy hitter, difficult boss fights to have like 1 or 2 spare humanity to heal with, and probably to equip them in the slot next to your Estus flask. But I didn't do that because I was a bit overconfident, so I kind of left them in my inventory. They should always be close to the bottom of your inventory anyway if you forgot to do that, so you can usually get an opportunity to heal in there. Yep. So as long as you don't totally screw up your dodges, Smough is actually pretty easy to fight. Yeah. I hope there's more boss fights like this in Dark Souls 2. Just kidding. I hope in Dark Souls 2, if there are 2-part bosses, that they're not just ridiculous. Like, this fight was clearly made for more than one person. But anyways, once you defeat these guys, you'll probably feel really good about yourself. I know the first time I played through Dark Souls, this is what really made me love the game, that feeling of, I just totally slaughtered you guys, even though you just barely survived. Anyways, they don't make you fight anything else, which I thought would be hilarious if you had to fight like another knight or something guarding this bonfire, but you don't have to. And so you've ended up with, you get 50,000 souls from that boss fight, so even if you've lost everything, that's still a whole bunch of souls. You can max out your endurance probably by this point. If you haven't yet, you might want to go farm all the silver knights in this area until you get it up to 40. So that should be it for now. See you guys later. Peace.